Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And this is the first of a new series / weekly show I'll be doing, and that's the Music Weekly News Roundup, starting on the 11th of the 6th, 2017. Now this is a show I've been wanting to do for a little while now, for a whole host of reasons. I've just started it up on the site, thought I'd just translate it onto the YouTube channel. So this is a brand new segment I am bringing to the site and the channel, as I've already said, since I think we have to be a little bit more interactive with the content that we're producing, because obviously the last few pieces of content which I've been making has actually increased when it comes to comments and likes and etc. So I want to just keep building on that. With song reviews and album reviews though, you only tend to focus on a particular artist or a particular genre at any given time, and the majority of the time you only watch a review because you either hate the track or you love the track. So everyone hence has very similar responses when it comes to said tracks. With news on the other hand, we can update and keep followers in the loop about the industry and have some real conversations and discussions about very important matters and matters which might just be all hokey cokey. So we will start with the news that Taylor Swift has just released all of her music back onto Spotify. Now Taylor Swift has genuinely re-released her music on Spotify amongst all the other big streaming sites just 3 years after boycotting the service in what was a very vocal and very passionate campaign. Recently, Taylor and her management shared this news via Twitter, because of course it would be Twitter, that's the only platform you seem to actually be able to broadcast official events on nowadays, explaining that she would re-release her entire discography of songs to all streaming services once again. That includes the likes of Deezer, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and of course Spotify. And that's a surprise turn of events for friends and fans alike, including followers. However, this might not seem like very big news, even though it does seem immensely hypocritical, since she is supposedly the one standing up for underpaid independent artists with her original stance of taking her music off of Spotify. But where the thing's really hot up for me though is that she's decided to do this on the same day that Katy Perry, yes Katy Perry, her feuding rival, has released her new album Witness, an album which has had a lot of hype behind it as well. So a lot of people are seeing this as a very desperate and salty move to try and sort of avert the attention away from her rival's new release. And if you ask me personally, who really cares about this, and who thinks that the two should just grow up now and stop all these publicity stunts, because this does make Taylor seem like an absolute hypocrite in my opinion. The next story we have in is a bit of a long one, a bit of a controversial one as well, is that Damon Albarn of Gorillaz, Blur and many other projects tells a touring Demon Days audience that the UK general election result was based upon an inevitable bullshit outcome. Now Damon is often a controversial figure when it comes to political commentary, especially in music, unafraid of stating his views, and as we all know by now, especially off of this latest Gorillaz album, those views are very much influenced by his left-wing stance. Just last month, when talking to folks over at Channel 4 in particular, he stated, "We're going down a route that doesn't really listen to the voices of the young, and it seems to be dictated by the more comfortable, older English voter, conservative voter essentially." He then went on to really hit the point home, stating, "I'm not talking about the person who'd voted Labour, I'm talking about your classic conservative Middle England voter, and they're the difference between the 48%, the percentage who voted Remain in the referendum, and the 52% that voted to leave." However, getting back onto the topic at hand here, at his most recent performance, he told the crowd, "It's been a weird week for this country," he stated, "a real surprise and an inevitable bullshit outcome." However, it isn't all doom and gloom from the guy. He did go on and then say, "But this is only the beginning, because there's some of you out there who aren't able to vote right at this time, but next time you will be able to vote, and it's going to grow." Now, Damon is actually very well known for getting very political when it comes to music, and you only have to look at a couple of the lyric sheets off of the latest Demon Days album to really realise that. There is a lot of stuff in there that hints towards an enraged perspective towards Trump and the American political situation in general, and I have always been very vocal on where I stand when it comes to politics in music. It does have a place, it definitely has a place, of course it does, but don't use spam and use your platform to really abuse the system, because that's different to politics in music. That's more using your reputation. I'm all about influence, and of course I'm all about being very honest when it comes to politics, especially in music. But I do get the feeling that Damon is beginning to sound a little bit repetitive now, since his negativity seems to genuinely shrug off many potential suitors. And when it comes to tracks like Hallelujah Money, which he did with Benjamin Clementine, it does feel a little unrelatable at times due to his place in the industry, his class, and where he comes from in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about the statements he's been making at a lot of gigs recently about, to do with politics. So I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Now you can sound off the biggest non-story of the week klaxon here, because Kylie Jenner has just been accused of cultural appropriation and copying Destiny's Child due to wearing a camouflage bikini and releasing a new line of swimwear that is in camouflage. So our biggest non-story of the week is only propped up by Destiny's Child's involvement in the story. Kylie Jenner has come under fire this week by releasing her new line of swimwear, which is coloured camo from top to bottom, as I've already said. It has been called cultural appropriation by many critics out there, and a lot of people have been comparing it to the girl band's attire from their music video Survivor. Now, one critic, who, let's bear in mind right now, got 77,000 retweets on his statement when it came to the matter, stated that Destiny's Child didn't wear camo bikinis 16 years ago in Survivor, the music video, for you to say Kylie is the one that invented the trend. Now, of course, I do understand cultural appropriation, and there are a lot of instances out there where we get to see the ugliest side of our society really come out when this appropriation is being issued in such a racist manner. But for me, this whole story is a load of crap. It's hogwash. Just because someone is wearing the same colours as what a girl band wore about 16 years ago, nearly my lifetime ago, doesn't mean that they are appropriating black culture. Army personnel, military vehicles, action men, and shabby women from Bradford have all been known to dabble in the camo, but I don't think it's appropriation to wear what Cindy did on a night out once to Blackpool. Our last story of the week is actually quite an important one, and that's Prince's unreleased music is now involved in a $31 million legal battle between two massive labels. A lot of boring but potentially crazy legal news to really finish this whole segment off now, involving the heirs to Prince's estate, who are attempting to avoid a $31 million deal with Universal Music Group, otherwise known as UMG, due to expected rights conflicts. A court hearing will actually be motioned next week to determine whether the statements proposed by Prince's eldest half-sister, I believe, Sharon, and the singer's other heirs will be carried. Supposedly, there is a vault full of unreleased music, unreleased Prince music, that is being squabbled about due to a multitude of rights reasonings. Prince's family and the entitled heirs fear quite rightly that potential rights conflicts with Warner Music Group, a company that hold the rights to a lot of Prince's music, might damage the business reputation of those heirs we previously mentioned. I personally always find it very unfortunate when something like this happens, because the only people really losing out here are the loyal fans who have listened to the artist's iconic music for over 30 years now. It's a shame, an understandable shame, but still a shame nonetheless, because obviously we'd all love to hear that music. So that will about wrap up this news segment for today. I hope you all enjoyed. These will be happening weekly, as you can tell by the title. I actually quite enjoyed putting this segment together as well. I like talking about the music industry more thoroughly and the backstage sort of stuff, because it's stuff that is becoming more and more important, and we're actually getting a more focused eye into these things with each year that passes by. We're hearing more and more leaked stories, of course. So yeah, I want you all to be the first to hear about it as well. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, comment what you think about any of these matters in the comment section down below, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.